Welcome to the show. Number one, here's what's happening. I'm just going to record exactly the amount of time I want to record today. And if it's not enough to do two shows, then we're just going to put this in the Patreon. Fuck it. I just don't care at this point in time. I don't have a guest. We're going boneless. We got no one to call in. It's just me and you in the room. And I'll start off with this. My dog is officially senile. She now just will piss and shit in the house without even blinking. Before her whole life, she will wait until 3 o'clock in the afternoon and hold it and then go outside to pee. Now, if I'm a second leg walking her, she just shits and pisses everywhere. Yeah, you. And, to say that I'm resentful of this fucking animal at this point, and I have to struggle to find grace, and think about the good times I have with her. Because sometimes it's raining and you got to walk the dog and she smells like a goat no matter how many times you give her a bath. And she's just 2 bad eyes, 1 bad ear. Still wants to hang out all the time and is likely just to shit and piss at the drop of a hat. I'm surprised she's not doing it. And just does it with impunity. Shit in the new office today. Spondo stepped in it. Pissed everywhere. Pissed in there twice. Shit in there twice. I mean, it was crazy. At some point, I'm just going to have to change her over to a cat and get her a litter box.
They make diapers.
I can't. If it's diaper time, it's time.
My friend's senile dog had a diaper for about
it's over
a year. It was purple.
Yeah, it's over. I can't do it. I can't do the diapers. I love her to death. Great dog. It's been 15 good years, but
execution before diapers.
I just feel like if I'm in diapers, kill me.
Okay.
Noted. When diaper time happens for me, it's time to pull the plug.
Okay.
And I feel like Omar, being the majestic beast that she is and was, would appreciate that kind of consideration towards her incontinence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro.
I don't think it's kind of not nice either way.
What's not nice?
Executing a dog because they're...
Well, let's not listen. I wouldn't say executing. I'm saying
I'm just putting it bluntly. That's what you're doing.
Just take her for her one last nap.
Well, anyway, Two-Tone, why are these books on the table? Why are you so short on time today? What's going on?
Well, let me just answer this text.
Okay, what's going on is Two-Tone has a lot of business to take care of, as always. So he's got to take care of this text, but then he'll tell us why he's even more busy than normal.
You can cut this out, right? I'll turn this.
Yeah, I can, but I'm entertaining the audience with.
You're what I call you're doing.
I'm painting a picture.
You are
color commentating.
You're vamping.
Invaluable.
You're vamping. It's called vamping.
What's that?
Yeah, listen, I'm moving. So what that means is, it's the end of an era, and I'm going to record in this house until the end of the month. Then I'm going to find a new location, not in my house.
Gotcha.
Because we have to take the stress. This has been terrible. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Having this in my living room and having you have to come here and set it up for you has been terrible. And me having to live with it. Like the times when you're like, hey, we're going to record tomorrow. I'm going to leave the cameras. And then you don't come back for a week.
Yeah.
And so I'm just living with cameras, and I'm like, I'm too lazy to break down the cameras.
Okay, that's rare. Let's not paint a picture of that being the norm. But
imagine having 6 or 7 times.
Imagine having a carpenter come into your house once a week and just start working.
Yeah, that's or imagine you're having sex with your girlfriend and some tall apparition comes in and starts creating a film set in your living room.
Well, that was also once.
Many times actually.
Okay, well,
the time that you know about. But listen, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Listen, the Powerful Truth Angels is a powerful, truthful, angelic show. We all know that. And the thing is, I'm glad that you guys tune in every week. We have a loyal fan base. People are going to be sad to see the set change. I know that. It's going to hurt them. It hurts me. I fear disruption. Now, being a quote unquote disruptor. You see
the Glass Onion movie?
I don't want to talk about the fucking Glass Onion.
Well, you just made a possible reference to it.
No, I'm making a reference to like the corporate term of like disruptors or like the tech term. I'm a disruptor.
In the movie, they make a reference to that.
I'm sure they do. I don't want, listen, the Glass Onion, I saw Clue, okay?
Look, I don't want to derail you.
I only need to see Clue once. I don't need to see it again in a futuristic house. Okay, I don't want to watch the fucking Glass Onion, and I don't want to watch the second one, which is like, what is it? The fucking the shards of the menagerie shard.
No, Knives Out is the first one.
Knives
Glass
Out
Onion
and the
is
glass. What the
second
fuck is the Glass Onion? Is the house that they're in?
Yeah, both very entertaining movies.
I just don't. I hate that kind of.
I'm not a huge fan either.
I'm not in the mood. I have to really be in the mood for that stuff, and I'm never in the mood for that like very kind of cheeky, stagey. There's 20 different. There's like 8 different characters. They're all from different walks of life. Like they're all friends with this guy. It's fucking complete horseshit. Like I don't want to. I can't suspend reality that much. You know
I'm never in the mood for it either. But when I sit down, I enjoy it. But anyway, not to derail you. What were we talking about?
You're reading
disruption. You like disruption, but you don't like moving.
You're so derailed. You're such a I don't even know what I was talking about. You said Glass Onion and it threw me into a tangent. But I was talking about being a disruptor, sarcastically, and Omar is disrupting the floor with piss constantly. That's her. That's her mark. She's making her mark, and she's disrupting the industry of hardwood.
Yeah, free speech.
I'm leaving this place. It's the end of an era, and I know that again. What I was saying is that I'm a creature of habit, even though I'm a disruptor. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I like to know where I'm going to go, and like I like to know that I'm going to go here.
You plan the graffiti that you're going to spray on the buildings.
Don't. You're derailing me. I'm not talking about graffiti, and graffiti writers do think about what they're going to do before they do it. They have missions. Sometimes you're just walking around crazy like a drunken fucking toddler tagging on everything. But sometimes you're like, got to get up at 3.
Yeah.
Got to get to the yard. You got 2 guys. I have the extra long bolt cutters. I got a blanket to hang over the barbed wire. Like the whole 9, right?
My point exactly.
Sometimes. This is not what I'm talking about. If you let me get to it, is this. Do we have an ad read? And B, are you going to give me the right ad read this time?
We have an ad read, so we do have to release this episode.
Is it for Rocket?
Publicly.
Rocket Finance?
It's for Rocket Money.
What happened to the shroom gummies? That was the best. I love those gummies.
They were with us for a while.
I ate them all. I wanted more. I wanted to just keep eating them. It's like those apple cider gummies. Have you seen those? They're called Goli.
Yeah.
It's basically like they're like, yeah, it's just candy. And I buy it and I'm like, this is a vitamin. I just eat the whole thing because it's delicious.
Yeah.
Anyways, change of scenery. We're gonna relocate. I don't know where we're gonna go yet. I truly don't know. We're gonna go somewhere. New studio. We don't know where yet. It's not going to be in my new place. I'm not going to put it into my personal studio. I don't want it in my space anymore. But I do want to be able to leave it up somewhere so we can just walk in and start working. Make your life easier. Make my life easier. Maybe we go into a studio now. Maybe we go legit and get into the full studio space. Just drop the sign in there. Maybe I recreate this in a set. I don't know yet what we're doing. I got to think about it. Shout out to Maddie, the partner of this show originally. He's in town now. We're going to try to drag him on. I know he's here for the Golden Globes.
Oh, that's right.
His show, The Bear, is I think they won Best Actor or something. But he's out there. He's out there in his like ye old Opry tuxedo and his tiny doll shoes, just traipsing around, being Maddie. It's amazing. He FaceTimed me the other morning, and then just started texting in the FaceTime. So sometimes FaceTime and then they're texting and you're watching them and you're like, you're not even I have to go. I can't watch you text. I have things to do in my morning. It's demoralizing.
It's like texting on a podcast.
No, it's not, because it's texting on a podcast is different because you can edit a podcast. You can't edit real life, baby. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to edit out me texting. You're supposed to make me look good.
And I do.
Sometimes you just go, let's leave in all the wobbly bullshit and think that's going to add an element of comedy, and it doesn't. It's not funny.
Definitely.
Make me look good.
Most of the time I do, just like most of the time I don't walk in when you're having sex.
Edit me so I am economical in my usage of words, so you can't hear me snort, and so you don't hear my laborious breathing. Edit me. Help me. If we made this slicker, let's turn a loose 50 into a tight 38. Okay. And make it fake. I want this to feel like applesauce for your ears, yogurt for your mind. I want it to be like M&Ms in your pocket, ice cold, pull it out of the freezer. Nobody knows you have the peanut M&Ms were in the freezer. In your pocket, security. You reach in your pocket, you touch them. I hope I get a green one. You pop them in your mouth. I want people to feel like that, but orally.
Dense. Jam-packed with content.
Listen,
tight
everyone,
fit.
we're
It's
gonna
always a tight
be
50
in a new
minutes.
location. I'm gonna try to maintain as much of the charisma and mystique as the old set. But to be honest, like, you know, YouTube is a motherfucker. Again, I never wanted to be on YouTube. I never wanted to be a YouTube guy. I'm on. It's so surreal sometimes, to be honest, because I'm turning shit over so much. Like, I don't have time to focus on this podcast, right? Because I have like other work. And every once in a while, I look at YouTube to check out numbers. And I'm like, why am I on YouTube? Like, it's just like, it's something where I had a conversation with a guy and said, do you want to make a podcast? The next day we were recording. And then soon after that, we were shooting.
We've heard
it just happened. I know we've heard, but I have to reiterate. And it's shocking sometimes because sometimes you move through life. It's like the Talking Heads song. How did I get here? I know I've said that before. I know I've referenced that song, but it's still staggering how much you're enabled to control the trajectory of your life and how enabled you are to stop time from moving forward. You know what I'm saying, Jason?
Yeah. Now you're a YouTuber in one form or another.
In some ways, I am a YouTuber. In some ways, I'm not.
You're a broadcaster.
I'm a radio guy. I'm a big radio guy. I mean, look, I'm moving, guys. Moving to a new spot. And in the move, I'm a person who I wouldn't call myself a hoarder, but I got a lot of shit.
Yeah, Ella was telling me you have a lot of stuff.
I have a lot of stuff. Was she making fun of me? I will.
Well, you had a lot of glass cases in that drawer behind you. She was pointing out.
A lot of
I was saying, you know, you have some strong sentimental values, and then she said, "Well, I don't think these glass cases are too sentimental."
See,
not
like,
to put words in her mouth.
No,
but
she's
something
right,
like
and
that.
I'll get rid of some of them. But the thing is, like, I like to keep things that are, you know, like the lenses that you wipe your glasses with. I keep them all, and you know what happens? I have 8 of them. I can only find 1 of them because I lose them all the time. Like shit that I'm gonna lose, I keep extras because I don't want to because I don't like to be wasteful.
That's smart.
No, not being wasteful might be my excuse for keeping things. I also keep scraps of paper because I tag on shit all day and I test markers. And like, you know, Ella went through my markers with me. There's just bins and bins and bins and bins of markers. 400 of the, like, it's endless. And I keep old scratch paper. I have this much paper of just loose scratch shit that I can just doodle on. And you know what? Anyone that is a person that draws or designs or knows how to draw or fucking paints knows the value of scrap.
Yeah.
Of just, boom, boom, boom. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do a little. And sometimes your best doodles come out on scrap paper.
I think that's all pretty valid, and you have the space. I'll add. Not everyone has the space to
anymore. I don't
keep
have
a lot of stuff.
I'm not gonna have the space anymore. We're moving into a hut.
Well, you did, and that's why you had a lot of stuff.
I did, and now I don't. And I'm editing. Okay, so I see that there's a bunch of sketchbooks on the table. I don't know that going through these sketchbooks is very interesting, but I will have you grab some stuff, if you don't mind, and hand it to me. Because if I get up and hand it to myself, it's going to disrupt the show.
Yeah. What do you?
I'm really just lazy. I don't know, like, you know, over there, there's a paper box. You don't have to hand it to me, but in that box is a screenplay and 2 novels printed out that I was proofreading. And I was going through my shit the other day and I started reading. I was like, well, some of this stuff is interesting. I wrote that stuff 20 years ago.
You wrote 2 novels?
Yeah, I never tried to publish them. I wrote 2 novels. And
We
I
have a
wrote
lot
2
of
novels and a screenplay and just little mini things. And I wrote this kind of like these pulpy fiction memoirs of like a graffiti writer growing up in Venice. And the funny thing about it is that they're now like period pieces because all the references are like, I'm talking about like orb disc players, like outdated technology that nobody knows about. Like
That's
I'm talking
cool.
about pagers, like all this weird shit,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. And I might one day take that stuff and punch it up and send it to Hulu and be
put it
like,
on
guys,
Patreon.
let's make this.
Patreon
I'll give it to
content.
Maddie, the producer. No, I'm not going to put it on fucking Patreon. I give it to Maddie. I go, Maddie, make this show for me. Just do me a solid. And Maddie's got the power. He's got the keys now. He knows how to push buttons. He can just with a stroke of his pen, help her up. Help her up. Come on, look at her. She's begging you. I know you hate her. I know she smells and she has crusty eyes, but she still wants to sit next to you in the hopes that there might be food that comes off.
That's not true. I'll be very sad when she dies. When you execute her.
I'm not going to. I won't. I'm being facetious. There was a day. I will not lie that there was a day when I had a long fucking day and it was storming crazily. And I came home and I was like, I still have to walk the dog before bed or else she'll shit and piss in the house. I had to walk her in the rain. And I just remember going like, on the way back, I was like, because I don't have an umbrella. And on the way back, I just was like, I wonder if there's just a place for old dogs that someone can just hang out with her. Because I'm smoked on this. Like having the way my schedule's packed up, having this dog, it was just an extra 40 minutes a day of like walking and all the other shit I got to do. It just adds this extra stress instead of calming me. It's more stressful because she smells like a fucking goat. She can't see shit. She's walking in a wall. She shits everywhere. She's cute though. She's a wonderful dog. Money. It's something that is elusive and it falls through your fingers if you don't grab it tight enough. You don't hold on to it. It's like sand. It's like sand through the hourglass of time. And sometimes that money is diverted as it falls, and it falls away from you, and it leaves it starts somewhere far away, and you do a task, and the payment for that task is some sort of digital exchange into your bank account. So it started somewhere across the continent, and then it's sent over via electricity into your bank account, and then it's in your bank. And that money sits there, and you use it to pay for things like rent and subscriptions and food and novelties and sketchbooks and all kinds of sneakers and things like that. But really, let's talk about subscriptions, because that's where they fuck you. That's where they get you. That's where they back you in a corner. And that's where they just fuck you like the guy in Deliverance got fucked by the hillbillies in the forest. That's what they do to you. They get you and they tie you. They strap you to a tree with a belt and they fuck you up the ass and they make you squeal like a pig. That's what they do. And by they, I mean these companies who thrive off of your monthly subscriptions when you're subscribed to things that you aren't even using anymore. When you're subscribed to things that you aren't even using anymore. When you're subscribed to things that you aren't even using anymore. When you subscribe to things that you aren't even using anymore. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Say goodbye to last year's outdated, disorganized methods of managing your money and say hello to Rocket Money, the better way to hack your finance in 2023. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. Like the streaming service you bought to watch just one show on, or the free trial that you never even used. I do this shit all the time. I'm on Instagram. I'm on the Shade Room, and I see some shit where these people are fighting on a network called Zeus. And something in me says you have to see this whole fight. You got to see the whole season. And I go, I'm in for Zeus. I'm in for the Zeus network. I download it on my Apple TV. I'm watching Zeus channel, and you know what? I forget. And I stop watching it because it's terrible. It'll rot your brain. And Zeus is still fucking just sucking money out of my account. Much like these people are sucking each other off on the show. And they're sucking the money. They're slurping money out of my account like a hungry snapping turtle with its mouth on a popsicle, just taking big chunks out of my finances. And remember what they say: without no finance, there's no romance, no chance, or something like that. But anyways, Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as a click of a button. Click, simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Stop throwing your money away. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/PTA. That's rocketmoney.com/PTA. rocketmoney.com/PTA. Catch the rocket. Rocket don't joke and rocket don't smoke. Rocket bust a cap. So listen, I'm going to be moving, and in the move you're editing, and I'm getting rid of stuff. In the other room, Jason, see all that shit in the kitchen? Mm-hmm. That's just all got to go. I'm getting rid of a war rug. I'm getting rid of a giant rug in the shape of a panda bear. Probably going to get rid of this credenza, even though I love it. Just getting rid of that couch. Getting rid of that 50s diner table. Half of my art got to go. Photos. There's so much shit. It just has to go. And it's time. I've been here for over 12 years, maybe longer. And it's time to move on. And it's time for me to reinvent my living space.
Yeah. Is this part of the thing? Intent is not just to, are you trying to like cut down? Or are you trying to do a Marie Kondo thing sort of indirectly?
I wouldn't call it Marie Kondo because everything I'm keeping doesn't give me joy. It's just some things I just can't. Okay, I'll show you an example of something I can't get rid of. Years ago, actually maybe 15 years ago, I started to get postcards in the mail. And, it was just like collages with it had my address in Venice and no return address. And it would just be these kind of funny little collages on cardboard, You want me to hold this to the camera? Camera A?
That's great.
All right, that's camera A. So it'd be a funny little collage on cardboard. No address. There'd be a little message. Never before such life like two-tone. So someone that knew me. And I didn't know who it was. And as soon as I started getting them, and they started coming pretty consistently. And they'd stop for a few months and they'd come again. And if you look at the postmark, sometimes they would come from Europe. Sometimes one came from Japan. Sometimes it was just California. All these little interesting postcards.
And these are handcrafted.
These are
collages.
These are handmade collages.
Gotcha.
Okay?
They're not
this
just
one's
postcards.
this one literally has a Polaroid tape to it. Handmade collages. Look at this. Isn't that interesting? And I started getting these things I got them for years.
Wow.
And then when I moved, they started coming here, and that's when I was like, "Holy shit, what's going on?" And I asked I asked a couple of my, I was like, and I would sometimes I'd sit around and talk to people like, "What do you think it is?" And we try to figure out very a la very Glass Onion style. We tried to use our investigative minds to figure out who the fuck was sending these postcards.
Yeah, process of elimination.
This guy has a two-tone on his stomach, so this person obviously knows me. Would good friends really go at it this hard? This kind of homoerotic, bunch of hot dudes on caterpillars.
Tongue in cheek,
literally. This is pretty cool. So he's got a mouth on his butt, and it says, "Seeing's believing, tasting's proof." Really interesting.
Wow.
Got him for years. Got them so long that I just got used to getting them.
and you never knew who it was.
I never knew who it was. Kind of like if you watch the girl with the dragon tattoo, he's getting the lilies,
right?
From his niece who he thinks is dead, but she's not. She's sending him the lilies because she's alive,
For sure.
So, anyways, years I'm getting these things, years. And one day I'm in Highland Park and I'm going to my friend's art show, and I'm in there and I go in the art show. And I go in, and sometimes I remember going into places sometimes, and if it was small and it was summertime, it would get hot, and I would feel claustrophobic. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I'm looking at this wall, and I get out of there. And my friend's like, "Well, you should take a look in there." And I'm like, "Why? Why? What do you want me to go in there for?" I'm very difficult sometimes, as I've been told. And finally, I go back in, and I'm like, "What does he want me to look at? I've seen this guy's work." And I look at this wall, and I'm just like, and I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, "This is interesting." I'm like, "It looks really familiar." And the whole wall is these postcards. Versions of these postcards plastered on the wall. And it turned out that it was my friend Sage Vaughn. He's an artist.
Sage Vaughn
took it upon himself for his amusement, probably more than mine, to send me these anonymous postcards over the course of 5 years, something like that. And I still have them. And you know what? This is one of those things that my girlfriend, being an unsentimental type of person, she would throw these in the trash. Would you throw these in the trash?
Absolutely not. That's pretty amazing.
The effort someone took to coordinate to send it, they would give them to a guy who would go to Japan and send them from Japan. Look at all the work that went into this.
It's an art project.
It's an art project. And it's very flattering too. We were friends, but he was just enough outside of my this is one of the early ones I got, actually. And this is what made me think it was my friend Brandon, because this seems very Brandon-esque, but it wasn't Brandon.
It's a man in Speedo standing in a forest.
They don't listen. If you don't watch the YouTube, you don't get to know what this is. Don't describe to these animals. Watch the YouTube.
Okay.
I'm leaving this on. This is not going to, you got to pay for this episode.
We've got to release it because of the ad.
This guy has a giant cock and it's dripping. I thought this is a very Brandon looking drawing too. I was like, this is definitely Brandon, but it wasn't Brandon, and it was Sage, and it was Sage Vaughn. Thank you, Sage, for that. If I've never thanking you formally, that was really great. It was awesome.
These must hold some value then, if he is a galleried artist and all that.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know, and I wouldn't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm sitting on $6 million.
I don't know. Yeah,
could you imagine?
This is some kind of thing someone would take in 20 years to the Antiques Roadshow.
Right.
They'd be
They're like, oh, you have a Sage Vaughn postcard. This is worth $78,000, just this one.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm struggling to figure out how am I gonna figure out how am I gonna buy a new car or figure out a house, and when this is 6 houses right here.
Yeah, you've just been sitting on a.
And you know what? I still wouldn't fucking
masterpieces.
sell them, Sage, because I love them so much, and I love the effort and the work you put in. Thank you. Anyway, so there's that.
That's the spirit.
Interesting, right? But here's the thing: I can't ever throw this shit out.
No,
I can never throw this away.
Also, I may add, they are literally paper thin.
Yeah, but listen, my life is full of things like this. That's the problem.
Life is full of.
They all have, everything's got sentimental value. Everything has a story. This thing. Here's a perfect example of how sick I am. I love the cover of this Surf Riot. Mm-hmm. This is a zine I picked up somewhere, And I liked it so much that I was like, I don't even want to take it out of the cardboard. I've seen what's in it online. I'm like, I'm just leaving it in the plastic. I don't know why.
It's a cover. You like the cover.
I like the cover, but again, like I'm not even opening it. You should look on eBay, see how much this is worth, will you? Take a look.
Sure. Surf Riot magazine.
Yeah.
What's the date?
Nick Waplington. So, my life, being a person who's a creative person, who designs, who likes to write, who engages in. I've made films. I find value in all these little scraps, and it is a little sick. And I'm throwing a lot away, and I hate to part with a lot of it. How much is it?
It's $500.
$500 for this bad boy.
Yeah.
And it's just enough for me to keep it and just to know it's worth $500. And if I ever get spun out and I'm on drugs, I'll sell this on eBay and smoke it. I'll never do that. Here's an interesting one. Look at this. This is another item. This is my first sketchbook as a child.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's some conceptual art I did as a kid. There's an interesting thing here where I have a
conceptual art you did as a kid.
Yeah,
what was the concept?
I was a very high. I don't know.
Candy.
Hyper conceptual. I was a very high concept kind of kid.
It was a concept. Transformers.
It was conceptual. It was a bunch of clowns racing across the pages. Look.
Oh, across the pages of the book.
Yeah, across the pages of the book.
Oh, that's
very cinematic, if you will.
It's a storyboard.
And my dad did the word bubbles, and they're all saying, "Wait for me, wait for me, wait for me." Whatever. We're really navel gazing. Also, here,
get into that.
Jason grabbed a bunch of my old sketchbooks. I don't think this is good TV. If I just show you,
I didn't grab. Well, I mostly just put them there because they were on the floor in the way of the table, and I figured.
And you put them on top of the table.
Well, they tell a story.
Yeah, I mean, these are ancient sketchbooks. I have sketchbooks here from when I was 15 years old. This is my sketchbook when I was. This is my sketchbook when I was a tattooer's apprentice, and I was told to draw a whole book full of skulls. And I drew skulls.
You've talked about that on the podcast before.
Here's just roses and banners from literally 95. Like, I can't get rid of this stuff.
You shouldn't get rid of this. Also,
terrible drawings.
This
terrible.
Look at this podcast adds
look at this. Look how bad this shit is. It's so fucked up.
It's kind of an investment in yourself.
What are you mumbling now? Investment.
I'm just saying that having a podcast now actually adds a lot of value to this work.
This is when biomech reigned supreme in the tattoo world. So everything I did had this weird like David Cronenberg crust on it. Biomechanical. Everyone was kind of doing their version of Geiger.
I see, like a cyber demon thing.
Yeah, this is a great skull with an 8-ball brain. I mean,
that's cool.
Get the fuck out of here. It's terrible. Like, it's terrible shit, but I can't throw it away. I want to look at it, and I do sometimes look through this stuff, and I do look at joy. There's joy in knowing how far I've come and how toy I was. I do want to find a book. There's a book in here where I said to myself, I'm going to do a piece a day. This one's kind of half book, half journal. I got a book and I was like, I'm going to do a fucking piece a day, and I'm going to fill up every page of this book with fucking pieces. And I think I got like, I don't know.
That looks like that might be it.
12 days. No, that's not it. I got 12 days in, and I think I get, the thing about sketchbooks is this. I've seen some fucking amazing sketchbooks from graffiti, amazing. And, it's like full pages. This one's got a lot. Jesus, that was really prolific. I mean, this is just like.
Yeah, show us.
I mean, can you, I can't hold it up. It's falling apart. Is there any way to.
Just hold it at a slight angle towards the
slight
camera
angle?
if you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's ripping as I thought.
I mean,
this is like me,
sketchbooks.
just trying to get it in, just doing full fucking two-tone black book burners all day. That one, look at that. I mean, look at all this dedication I put into this stuff.
For the audio listeners, they're graffiti pieces.
They're graffiti pieces, yeah, and it's endless. This is a book where I just kept going. Every page I wanted to fill up with my own pieces, different styles, characters. I was very much highly dedicated to graffiti, and then I don't know, life comes at you fast, and had to make some what they call pimp decisions, and then I ended up being an idiot. And what else? You want to grab me those? Sorry, I didn't mean to snap at you, but you want to grab me that Nike box over there? So I go through all my stuff and I look at things and I say, here's the crazy thing is that I was going through my stuff with my girlfriend and my buddy Matt, and they came across my stash. This is a hot point in the household right now. They came across my stash of CDs, and I have a box of CDs. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think it might be 1,000 CDs in there. Mm-hmm. And they were like, and they found my DVDs and they found my CDs. And they found the DVD box. And I was like, the thing that happens is that people are helping you get rid of your stuff. You enter this state of you become malleable because you start to think, maybe I am crazy for keeping all this shit. And they got the DVDs and they convinced me to give up the DVDs. They're like, just get rid of these. I'm like, why? I can sell these to somebody. It's every movie known to man. Fucking Kubrick, whatever the fuck you can think of is in there. And I pulled out like 20 that I want to keep, and they're like, we're taking them. And I let them take the DVDs. They just took them away. And they disappeared. They just disappeared, the DVDs. And they basically let me know the DVDs are worthless, which I just kind of was like, you're probably right. Everything streams. It doesn't matter. But I always have this fantasy that I'm going to end up in a cabin one day in the woods and there's not going to be a Wi-Fi and I'm going to have all my DVDs and CDs. I'm just going to be in there and I'm going to be painting or writing by myself and I'm going to need them.
Yeah.
That's sickness. And they took the DVDs away.
DVDs are not worth that much. Fact check.
They're not worth anything. But the CDs.
But the CDs, on the other hand.
I have, as you guys know from the Jay Worthy show, I have all the tapes. I had 400 tapes that we pulled out and looked at. Well, some of that overlaps in the CDs because I double bought stuff. Mm-hmm. And I have CDs for, I don't know, 15 years of CDs. And they were trying to take the CDs from me and take them to Amoeba. And they're like, we'll get you like $8 for these. No. And something in me broke. And I said, you're not taking them. And I was like, I can't. I started calling people. And I started calling people. I called Jay Worthy. I go, hey, I got these CDs. Like, what? He goes, don't you dare sell those CDs. He goes, wait till I come back. Wait till I come back. I'm out of the country. When I come back, we got to talk about it. I might have someone for him. And I talked to other people and they say, don't sell the CDs. Because like those things are still worth something. They're making a comeback. People DJ with CDs. Like, it's not something I don't want to take the fucking box of CDs. I want to take, if I'm going to get rid of them, I want someone to own the whole collection.
Yeah. I
want them to take the good with the bad. I want them to have the fucking, whatever, the Slint CD, and also I want them to have the RBX CD. You know what I mean? Like, take it all. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth more in the context of the collection. Going back to Antiques Roadshow, the collection itself has value in itself.
But do you think it's crazy to hold on to your CDs?
No,
CDs nuts.
I've recently gone to record stores and bought vintage CDs. Not recently, within the past 5 years or so. Mm-hmm. And they're like $25, $30 a piece.
Pop?
Yeah, for like an album that's well known, if it's the first pressing.
Really?
This this is metal, so it's a little more obscure, I guess.
Yeah, but you're
slightly lower, but there's stuff in there.
Like, am I going to get money for the Chronic?
I mean, probably not. But
we could bust out the CD box, but maybe another time.
But like other stuff in there definitely holds value.
What else we have here? Oh, here's the Sadie Hawkins Born and Raised Air Force One. I mean, it's got the date on the tongue. This is nice, clean. Gets the job done. Am I gonna wear these? Probably. I might bust these out and wear them, or maybe I'll sit on them forever like a jerk. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't. This stuff is important to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think that's fair. If I may weigh in,
please do.
Like, I still have toys that I haven't dropped. Partly because, again, like, there's space in my childhood bedroom or whatever, and my parents aren't like in a major rush to make it into an office.
Yeah.
They can absolutely just throw stuff out if they want. But there's some stuff I'm in no rush to throw away. G.I. Joes. Even, Army Men. I always collected a lot of Army Men as a kid. The simple plastic guys. I have a box of probably hundreds of those that I'm still holding on to just
Well,
because.
why did this is like 40-year-old virgin? Why don't you sell them and start open up a store?
Because those aren't worth that much, but they're worth a lot to me. And if I have a kid eventually, like those were my favorite toys. So
See, it's so
cool
fun.
to
I don't
handle.
have anything from
But it's always these contingency plans, and yeah. Again, I guess that's the difference. Is like what you're holding on to is stuff that you created, and also holds a lot more.
You know how many
inherent value.
sketches you know how many drawings? I mean, I have still life drawings that I did from, when I was taking art classes. It's endless. And the thing about being someone that has a lot of things is to compound it. Like, I'm a designer. I draw. I paint. I'm multidisciplinary creative person who likes the way it feels when you draw.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shit, and I hold on to I hold on to the most inane little shreds of stuff because it brings me joy. It does. Fuck you, Marie Kondo. It does bring me joy. This little tiny. Ella found a box of my business cards, which I like looking at. Business cards from the 90s. It's interesting to me. It takes me back. I think about that whole time frame and how they designed it. Like, it's
true.
crazy.
That's cool.
But I think a lot of it comes from. I feel like people who either feel safe, don't need a lot of shit around them. Like they feel more safe and secure in themselves, maybe. So they don't need to have a lot of shit. They're free. They can wander around. Or B, they are desperate, cowardly animals, and they don't have any sentimentality, and that's why they don't hold on to shit.
Yeah,
but I am a little extra sicker than most people.
Yeah, maybe, but I think it takes a psychopath to just want to throw things away versus want to keep things. That
Listen, some people are not sentimental.
Time.
Ella's parents, they chuck away her baby drawings.
Yeah, but maybe that comes from a different sort of.
They're just not sentimental people.
Yeah,
that's fine. They love their kids. They love them to death, but they're not sentimental people.
Yeah, I won't judge.
You won't judge. There's no judgment here. And that's the show. Thank you very much. It was a micro show, 30 minutes. What else is going on, Jason?
What do we want to? Let's see. I saw Avatar.
What'd you think?
You have to subscribe to Patreon for my review of Avatar.
What are you saying?
I released a bonus review today because we didn't release a podcast.
You did your own?
I did my own review of Avatar.
Wait, on camera?
No, on mic. This is
How
audio
long is
only
it?
Exclusive. It's a whopping 8.5 minute.
You guys, if you're on the Patreon, there's bonus content where Jason did a micro show of 8 minutes. Now, let me ask you something. How did you feel speaking into the ether for 8 minutes? How's that feel to you?
Well, at first it's a little slow, but then you hit a flow.
Then you hit a flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what if you had a full day? Let's just say theoretically, you got up at 6, met with your personal trainer, worked on your glutes. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you went into jiu-jitsu and just fucking smashed and got smashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom, worked that out. Did play King of the Hill, okay, which is where you stay in every time you win, and then you did a few rolls, and then you come out, and then you barrel home, and you have your smoothie, right? And then you go into the office, you get in the office, and you work hard. And you're designing. You're working on Valentine's Day designs. You're talking to the crew. You're giving them advice. You're talking shit.
Your dog is maybe shitting on the floor.
Your dog shit and pisses everywhere. And then after that whole day, you come home and you have to podcast in your own living room.
Yeah. For me, it wouldn't be a problem because I would be laser focused on that podcast at the end of the day the whole time.
You would be laser
my mind
focused
in the game, collect information like a magnet throughout the day to speak about it in the podcast, and then unload it.
I do think
mic.
about it. I do think about the podcast like during the week, and I think about like what I'm going to do, what we're going to talk about. I do. I literally trust me. I do. I listen.
No. I know you do because.
But I do think that we're going to have to. We're going to have to enter a new era in this podcast.
Yeah,
we're at the point now where it's like we either put gas on it and light it on fire, or we just say fuck it.
Yeah, we need segments.
We need to get.
We'll start right now. We have a very special caller for you.
Okay.
He was the governor of California for, I believe, 2 terms. He's a professional very famous film actor.
Someone's calling in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we have him on the line right now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to do...
Someone's calling in? Okay. I'd like to hear... You're going to click them over, or how does that work?
Yeah. Hi, Two-Tone. How are you?
Who is this?
Yeah, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzer who?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzer who?
This is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I didn't get the last part.
It's I see what you're trying to do. You can't get me. I was in the state legislature for 8 years. You can't come at me with that kind of bullshit.
Listen.
Yeah.
Have we gotten this desperate, Jason? That you're pulling out your Arnold impression? We're not even there yet.
You want segments?
No, this is the. Let's talk about what everyone really wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is everybody wants to know what's the big guy eating? What's he up to? How's his diet? I'm the big guy here.
Yeah. What are you eating?
No, not as Arnold. You're Jason again.
Okay.
Let's go back. Can't do that.
What's the fattest thing you did this week?
God damn it! Stop it. No more.
Okay.
It's hacky. I'm hacky enough. We don't need a double hack.
Okay.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate the effort.
That's the kind of things we're gonna have moving forward.
I'm gonna tell you
planned
guys.
out segments.
I'm a very much a big time new year, new you guy. I'm a fresh start. Did I talk about this last week? I'm a fresh start type of guy.
Not really.
I love a fresh start. I love a redo. I love a fucking boom. Like, and I will say in throughout my life, I've had different levels of actually, I've had different levels of success in actually doing like hard reboots on my life. Mm-hmm. And I remember back in the day, I would be like, I'm going to get sober on the 1st, and it would end up being like the 26th. Like the 26th is when I finally like be like, okay, I think I'm ready. And that turns into April, and then all of a sudden you're in 2008. Mm-hmm. And you're like, how did I end up here? What is going on? What is this new? Why am I listening to Outkast? What's happening? Is that 2008? I don't know. Listen,
I used to always do that with this will be the year I get a girlfriend. But I started that when I was maybe 11 or whatever. So
this will be the year.
I was
this is
setting myself up for disappointment quickly.
This is the year we're going to be popular, you guys. This is the year that PTA will be popular.
Yeah, this is going to be the year that the jocks start liking me.
Yeah. Did you ever get the girlfriend?
Yeah.
And then and the thing is, you finally get a girlfriend, and you realize that like, oh, now I just have an annoying friend that I used to have sex with, who nags me about farting.
It's horrible.
Right?
Yeah, they're horrible.
They're horrible.
What a nightmare.
What a nightmare. It's easier if you were prone to, like, if you were attracted to men, right? I feel like life would be.
That's what eventually it started becoming. Please this year make me become gay.
Please let me become gay. Because then you can hang out. You hang out with the homies.
Make me gay.
You hang out with the homies. You do the shit that like, because you really just want to hang out with your homies. Like you hang out with your girlfriend, like it's cool, but like you just want to hang out with your homies and talk shit. You know? And the thing is, like, if your homie is also the person that you're having sex with, because eventually also like you can't fuck forever, and it's just going to be your friend. But why not be the guy that can help you carry a couch instead of a person whose
you have to
arms
dote
are
on
too
their
weak.
every need. They're loud and whiny.
Their every need. They need you to get up. As soon as you sit down, you have to go get them an apple juice, and then when they come back, get them a napkin for the apple juice, and then get them a napkin because that napkin's not big enough. And then why don't you just not waste a napkin and get a dish towel? And then will you rub my feet? And then it's like, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you need to go to bed. And it's like, I just want to watch Slow Horses and see if I can get into this thing.
Yeah, and one fork is too big and one fork is too small.
One fork's too big. You're using the salad fork on the lamb chops. Like, what the fuck's going on?
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's one.
This is how gay men were invented. There's a couple guys in the Roman days were like, I hate my girlfriend, and they're like, I got an idea. Let's fuck each other. And they're like, fuck. Why didn't we think of this? Then it starts with wrestling.
Yeah,
and the wrestling
starts with boys.
Yeah, you're wrestling, and then also you're having sex. So I'm close to it. I'm a wrestler. So I think if I can like get myself to a point where dicks make me hard, right?
Yes.
Where that's what makes me fucking horny. Then I can simplify the rest of my life and be like, okay, now this guy, we can go get in fights. We can shoot guns. We can carry couches. We can start a tech company together, and neither one of us is ever going to ask anyone to clean anything, and we'll just live like fucking savages. Mm-hmm. Just fucking eat and throw silver on the ground. I mean, the thing is about having a girlfriend is like, you do have to, like, I will say this, and I've said this before, a single man is one of the most disgusting creatures on the planet.
Oh my God, of course.
A single man who is unbetrothed, unattached to anyone, and lives alone, and is a terrible, filthy beast.
99% of them might as well be Omar.
No, Omar's a wonderful
Pissing on the floor.
No,
shitting
dude,
on the floor.
A single man is a terrible, terrible, horribly ugly creature. A nasty beast. There's terrible thoughts unchecked running through your head that go away instantly as soon as you have a mate. All those thoughts go away.
Right.
But you have terrible thoughts. You have terrible actions. You can do whatever you want. You can just
kind of thoughts
you can
are
wake up at 3:00 at night and go get pizza and like have sex with some random person in the parking lot if you want to when you're single. And it's terrible for you because then you wake up the next day and you're like, what did I do? I can't sleep. And you know what? I'm just going to stay home again today and order another pizza.
And only men do this.
Only men do this. And you can't do this when you have someone that you live with, a mate, because you can't be disgusting.
Not really.
Because you can't. The worst thing that happens is
you can slide a little bit, but there's like a barrier.
a little. You can have a little bit of wiggle room, but like, listen, you
cliff.
don't want to get to a point. Like I watched some video on Instagram of like a woman's watching her husband do a rope swing into a lake, and she's like, ugh, this gives me the ick. And I'm like, the man is just swinging and just rope swinging. So she's so disgusted by this man at this point.
Well, it's a childlike effeminate
nothing wrong.
action.
No, it's not. It's not the action. It's that he's disgusted. He's grossed her out, and it's probably he's cutting his toenails in bed. He's farting in his hand and holding it into her mouth. He's Dutch ovening her. He's not doing the dishes. Like those are the things that eventually wear down and create dryness in the nether region of a woman. And then they get this thing called the ick. And I feel like once you get the ick, there's no turning back. Because if I have that feeling about the person I'm with, if I'm disgusted by something they do, I think it's over.
Yeah.
You just looked around. Are you getting the icks? Did your girl get the icks?
No, I don't think so.
I hate the
now
term.
I'm just thinking.
The term is so fucking.
I mean, I'll be
dumb.
honest. I've never heard of this exact breakdown.
It's gross.
Of the phenomenon.
The term is gross. Just say.
I always thought it was like you discussed in last week's episode, where it's like on a first date, not this like potential.
What? What do you mean last week's
This potential
episode,
ticking time bomb in a relationship. Well, you mentioned that you asked this girl on New Year's, like, "Hey, maybe we'll kiss later."
I listened that. I don't know why. I wish that was paywalled. I listened to it. I was like, why did I tell that story? It's so terrible. It's so like, even hearing it, I'm so embarrassed that I told the story.
Well,
because it was so.
Our worst moments will always be worst to us.
Yeah, when you put them on fucking YouTube, it was the most cucked out thing. I want to listen. We all have done wildly weird cucked out. You can't just be cool forever.
Yeah, but you can't be cucked out if it's something you did when you were like 15 or whatever.
I was not 15. I was in New York. I was like at a New Year's Eve party on the subway.
You were
I definitely
younger.
was 15. I was 42. No, it was in my 20s.
Yeah,
Listen,
you got some distance.
In my defense, when you're in your 20s, you're literally as a 20-something man. How old are you?
30.
Okay, you just got over the barrier of retardation, because in your 20s, from literally from 0 to 20, you're fully retarded, and you only have an excuse.
It's weird because
you're 17.
I can physically almost feel myself having crossed that barrier too. It's maybe sort of an abstract thing. Like, when you look back, you're like, oh, but like in the last year and 2 years, year and a half, I've felt like I've crossed some kind of developmental threshold. That was like specifically lined up to happen when I was 30.
When I hit 30, literally the minute I hit 30, I started working hard.
Okay. Well,
Up until then, I didn't work that hard. I was kind of fucking around. The minute I hit 30, something happened, and I was like, it's go time. And I just started fucking, and I've been going ever since.
it also just feels like that naturally happened. It's like I started getting more work naturally because
Yeah,
I was
but it
more
doesn't necessarily happen.
naturally.
Some people like are fucking around and they're 35 and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't mean that like I haven't had pitfalls in between in the past, in those years. It doesn't mean that things haven't happened, or I haven't fucked up, or I haven't hit the wall, or I just haven't hit periods of inactivity, but I have not been unemployed in one way or another. Like I've been unemployed, but I've always been working and hustling and trying to do something else and figuring out what's next. And like sometimes it's not good. Sometimes you got to stop and take stock of things and think about what you're doing. Because I am someone who is, in regards to work, I'm just trying to keep the fucking ball moving, trying to push the ball over the line all the time, and it's not always good. Because sometimes you make decisions you shouldn't have made, and you do things that you shouldn't have done, and you don't have clarity, you don't have perspective when you're just fucking grinding away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you mean you want
3-day work week, motherfuckers. Let's go.
I agree with that.
3-day work week, 4-day weekend. reflection. Thursday, Friday, full reflection on the first couple days. Saturday, Sunday, all sauna days.
I think
I
optimize
want to go
schedule,
Swiss.
maybe 4-day work week with like no more than 6 hours of work each day.
I'm going to start this. I want to start this conversation, and I'm going to remind me to bring this up. If there's anybody out there, okay, that has a plug, and I've never done this before. Have I done this before?
No.
I've never reached out to our massive audience.
Yeah. You're looking for Adderall?
No, I don't need Adderall. If anyone out there has Adderall, if anyone out there has 5, 10, 15 meg Adderall, the kind that you can crush it. No, I don't want Adderall.
Yeah.
Please don't send me fucking Adderall. I don't need Adderall. If anyone out there has is connected to the wellness industry and the part of the wellness industry that deals in saunas and cold plunges. If there's anyone out there that has connections, that is like, is there some, I don't know. How do I get, because I want to get something like that for the crib outdoors. I want to get, here's what I want to get. We'll get a cold plunge. I know which one I want. It's called Plunge, I think. They range between 4 and 7 racks. Of course, I want the pro with the extra cold and all that shit because I love that. And I want to get like a 4 to 6 person sauna to put outside so I can keep this routine of elongating and retaining the youth that I had because I'm very youthful for my age. I am actually 54 years old, and I look very young for that.
Pretty good
for that age. Yeah. So if anyone out there is reach out to the PTA DMs, which I never check. Reach out to my DMs, and if there's some sort of like, I don't know, I'll do a commercial. If there's a discount, if there's whatever the fuck it is, if there's any connection someone can give me, I would love. And I don't do this very often, but my girlfriend says I should do this, and I listen to her. Yeah, because she's obviously knows everything. She doesn't know anything.
No,
it's fucking terrible.
It's loud.
It's terrible. Loud, yelling. I mean, she's talking. The pitch that she talks in my bedroom is so loud you can hear it through the whole neighborhood. I'm like, why are you yelling?
Yeah, it's like the ring race.
Why are you yelling about my fleshlight?
It's like a Nazgul.
A Nazgul, yeah. It's just full Nazgul just all the time. And I can hear it echoing. I can hear it echoing down the street, you know.
Disgusting.
Yeah, she did. I did ask her to help me go through my office today. And she found, I had this like low budget fleshlight thing I bought once. It was like in my desk.
Embarrassing.
It was in my desk. And like, I was like, and a long time ago, I think I was like working and I'd be like, I'm going to fuck this thing real quick.
Oh shit. So there's a little baby growing in there?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some. No, I don't know, it's very sanitary. But she found it. And she's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "That's where I put my quarters," and it's also a hand warmer. So that's what I said to her. But it's actually some weird, like, again, some internet thing that I bought.